The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, guys, welcome back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight have Steve Walsh along with us for any questions or concerns that come along the way for you guys. Steve, are you with us?
I am. Sorry, you guys are stuck with me again. Apologize for that.
And Greg Payton to help out as well. So on the technical side to make sure I'm up to par on everything for you guys. So. All right. So tonight, what we are going to be covering is more on the, the what's new for 2019. So tonight we are going to cover the new features that they've added in there for chamfer recognition, the new multi-tool pocket feature that we have, and the new smart face technology with the I'm trying to think of the improved synchronization that they've done to it. So if you guys make changes on your model using the smart face technology, I'll show you how it's going to pick it up for you guys. And I do see a couple new names in here. So I forgot to do a little introduction here. We do use GoToWebinar for these night classes. These night classes are solely for you guys. So if you guys do have suggestions, send those over to me via email. And I just put my email into the chat. Now, every night class is being recorded. So if you guys want to go back a couple versions, you guys can hop over to YouTube and type in SolidCAM University. And here are all the night classes and pretty much on how to do everything in the software for the last, 3.5 years we've been doing this, Steve?
Greg? I think so, somewhere there, yeah.
So, and everybody is in mute just to eliminate any background noise. So if you guys do have a question, definitely feel free to ask it right away, and Steve will read off the question, and we'll get you guys answered right away. All right, with that being said, it's probably going to be a little bit shorter of a class tonight. It won't be a full hour long, but we'll try to get everything covered here for you guys. So first thing I want to cover is the new chamfer recognition. And, well, I shouldn't say the new chamfer recognition, but some of the features that we've added into the chamfer recognition based off of what you guys were asking for. So chamfer recognition did come out in 2017, if I remember correctly. And it's a great way to just basically deburr your part, is kind of what it is meant for. Now that we got some feedback from you guys on what you guys wanted to see in there, we've added these new features into the chamfer recognition. So I have a part here, and we do have some chamfers already thrown on there. And what was happening before is it would actually chamfer the top edge and the bottom edge, and it would kind of ignore the chamfer that's already here. So when we're going to pick our geometry now, we can do the ignore floor and wall angles less than 90. So basically, well, let me turn that off. Click on our model here. And you'll see the yellow lines as representing all of the spots that the chamfer recognition is picking up on. Now, like I was saying, is something like this, we wouldn't want a chamfer on because it's already got a regular chamfer right here. So we want to kind of ignore that. So if I go ahead and unselect everything right here and tell it to ignore pretty much all my chamfers there, it will go back through and it will deselect all these for us, as well as down here. I forgot to mention before. So we have a chamfer going around here, and we don't want that chamfer recognition to pop up. So basically, all it's going to hit is just 90-degree walls. So if it does have any kind of taper to it, or draft, it's going to completely ignore it. So it's a kind of a new feature that they added in there, as well as you can also apply a filter. So let's say we don't want to touch, let me kind of clear this out again here. Let's say I want a minimum filter on there, so I'm not deburring these counter bore holes. So I can put that in there and now grab everything again, and it will ignore all my circle holes that are that size or smaller. So real cool feature. And like I said, these are all suggestions from you guys that you guys wanted to see in there, and so we've added that in there. So we'll go ahead and accept that now. And another thing that we've added in here is, grab a tool first, is the levels. So now you guys can actually base it off of a certain level that you want. So we can tell it, we want a chamfer of, this is metric, so we'll say 1 millimeter here. But if I do save and calculate, it's going to chamfer everything all the way down as far as it possibly can go. But maybe I don't want to chamfer anything past like this face right here. So what I can do now is turn on my lower level and just click on there, and I can hit save and calculate. Oh, actually, I got to bump it up just a little bit. So we'll say instead of 30 millimeters, we'll say 29 millimeters. And now it will completely ignore that level. So you can do it now by filtering out your holes. You can do it by filtering out already chamfers or drafts there, and you can filter it out by levels as well. So a lot of great features that they added in there. And like I said, this is solely based off of what you guys wanted in there, and we listened and got that changed up for you guys. So, and the rest that's in here is pretty much the same as what was left over from before. So you can change up your cutting diameter right here. You can do a safety offset, and what the safety offset is going to do is it's going to keep it 0.1 millimeter away from crashing into a wall or any kind of surface right there. And then you can also now do step down. So if you guys are using really hard material and you guys want to do multiple step downs to achieve your 1 millimeter, where am I at here? Your 1 millimeter chamfer depth, you can definitely do that now. We can also set up a filter of a minimum edge length too. So if it's just coming in there and just trying to do just a little tiny portion and then it's arcing in and arcing off, we can minimize that so it's not going in there and just touching those little itty bitty areas. So, am I missing anything here, Greg?
No, I think you went over everything that we're intending to do. Although it was very quick, like when you were talking about the filtering out by minimum diameter, I'm assuming that you're doing that because you might be using a spot drill to create those chamfers on smaller holes?
Yeah.
As opposed to doing a circular interpolation of that chamfer?
Yep, that's correct. Sorry. So yeah, I did cover that a little fast. So basically by doing a minimum diameter, this is a click on that. Come on. So we have 11 millimeter counter bore right here, but maybe I was using a 20 millimeter spot drill. So instead of doing a circular interpolation that takes a little bit longer, I was just covering that with a spot drill. So just a filter based. And if we want to go a little bit larger, all you have to do is just click on the field and click on the diameter you want to shoot for, and it will put that filter in there. Just make sure you reselect the model. So now I'm not doing any of my holes in there. And you'll still see I still have toolpath in there, but it's not highlighted yellow. And the reason I still have toolpath in there is just because I haven't saved and calculated. So we'll save and calculate. And now you can see that we're completely avoiding that counter bore hole and these counter bore holes down here, as well as completely removing this surface out of there, or that level out of there. So, and if you guys want to, I mean, you guys don't have to do the entire thing. You can come in here and turn off certain faces, or if you don't want to touch a certain face at all, you can definitely do that as well. So, any questions, guys, on the new features that we've added in there with the chamfer recognition? All right, I don't see anything there, so. All right, let's pop over to, we're gonna kill two birds with one stone here, and let's go to close out of this here. SolidCAM. Okay, so our smart face technology. For those of you guys that don't know what smart face technology is basically just by clicking on a face, it's automatically going to chain all the walls for us, and it's automatically going to mark open edges where they're open. So in the pocket here, we'll just do a pocket because I'm going to show you guys a couple different things here. So when we click new geometry here, you'll see all I had to do is just click on that face, and let me turn off my show chain on working plane so you guys can get a better view. You can see I got purple all on my edges here, and then I have yellow, which is identifying that that is an open edge. That is the smart face technology. Now what they did is, before, the smart face technology would work amazing, on this particular part, but if the model got switched out just by based off of how the smart face is being used, any additional geometry that would come in there after the fact wouldn't get caught. So let's go ahead and hit the green check mark there, and we'll go ahead and grab a tool here. Now let's say that I wanted to rough this out with a 3/4 inch end mill, and then I wanted to come back with a 1/2 inch end mill to finish off my floor, and maybe a 1/4 inch end mill to do a nice wall finish to get a nice small radius in the corner. Very easy now. Inside pocket is our new multi-tool. So in our multi-tool, slide this, there we go. In our new multi-tool, you guys can come in here and add as many tools as you guys would like. This kind of piggybacks right off of what we did with the iMachining for last year. So now we can come in here, and I have tool number 1, and let's say I'm planning on leaving 5 thou for my wall, 5 thou for my floor. And I'll do select. I'm going to grab my 1/2 inch end mill here. And I'm also going to grab my 1/4 inch end mill. So now I can tell it, all right, I want to rough with my tool number 1. I want to finish the floor with my tool number 2. And I want to finish the wall with my tool number 3 with that nice small end mill in there. So now you guys can do this all within one operation. Now, in the technology, if you guys come in here and you see that, well, the finish is grayed out, the reason it's grayed out is because it's all this data is now being pulled from right here. So here's all your wall and floor finish as well. So if we save and calculate now, you'll see that it just did a roughing pass with my 3/4 inch, did a finish on the floor with my my 1/2 inch, and my 1/4 inch did a finish on the wall. So you'll see it did 3 different operations right here. And to switch back and forth, you guys can just click on your tool number 1, tool number 2, or tool number 3 to independently control each one.
Hey, Kevin, can you show us the individual toolpaths? Kind of check on and off the toolpath verification. That way we can see what's going on with each tool.
Sure.
For a little bit of clarification.
Yep. So right here, we're doing a roughing. And let me just get a front face view here. And you can see that we're sitting off the floor right here. Turn this one on. And this one is now doing our finish of our floor with a smaller tool. And let's say this 3/4 inch is maybe like an insert mill, or just a corn cob cutter, or just any kind of roughing tool. Coming back with a finishing here. And then we're doing the finishing on, I thought that should just did the wall only. Let me take a peek here. Technology, finish wall only. Oops, forgot to turn that on. All right, so let's turn all those off and turn that guy on. And now you can see it is just coming in there and doing that finish cut, going all the way around. Is that where you're gearing towards, Greg?
Yeah, I was looking pretty busy when all three of them were lit up like a Christmas tree.
Sure.
This is a cool example of seeing exactly what each tool is doing.
Absolutely. And, you know, like Greg was saying, you know, everything's kind of, when I have everything on, it looks like a Christmas tree in here, which kind of brings up a good point. You know, this finish pass of the quarter, you can see it's really hard to see. And I know I've covered this in past videos, but if you guys want to change your tool path color, all you guys have to do is just click right here and you can switch it over to a different color. And now we got, the tools are the exact same. Switch to a different color here. And we'll go green. There, it's a little bit easier to see now. So we got blue is our 3/4 inch, orange is our 1/2 inch, and green is our 1/4 inch. And like we I think said before too, is you can come in here and also change the color of your text that's over here. I just got to remember where it is. Customize. Nope. Where is that at? Fonts and colors. There it is. So we can come in here and say that, all right, that one's green. And that kind of helps associate font color. This one is orange. So you guys can kind of customize it that way as well, so you can kind of get a more better understanding of, you know, what operation and what colors are doing what. But, all right. So what I'm going to do here is close out of this part. I'm going to open this part just in SolidWorks. And let's do a normal 2, and let's do a quick sketch of something like that. And we'll do a features, extrude, surface. All right, so we can add that in there, and maybe let's just add a little bit more. Features, extrude, to surface, and let's throw a fillet. Just something to kind of change up our part. So you can see we've made some pretty significant changes in there. Added over here, added an island in there. So now with the new smart face, we can go to our recent parts here. Design model was changed. Yes. And we can just give it a second here to update. So the associativity has gotten even stronger with the smart face. So you can see, even though that all I had to do is just click on that face, it automatically adapted to that new geometry all the way around for us. So you'll see that not only is it just doing a finish on the wall over here, but it is now also doing a finish on our wall of our island. So really strong integration and associativity that they really added in with this, the new smart face in there. Any questions, guys? That went a lot faster than I was thinking I was gonna.
Pretty quiet group too, Kev.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. So.
Yeah, we don't have Ronnie in here, so That's probably why.
No offense, Ronnie.
Yeah, so sorry guys, I thought this would have taken just a little bit longer. Greg, do you think of anything else that kind of missing for the multi-tool?
No, I think the multi-tool you covered pretty well, and the smart face showing a pretty good example of it here.
Trying to think, missing anything else? Yeah, I think as far as I can think, that's all I can think of, guys. And like I said, it's a little bit shorter of a night class tonight, but it kind of comes out to my favor because I still have to drive on site to a customer tonight. So Steve is making me drive in a winter storm warning right now.
Hey, anything for a customer, right, Kevin?
Yep, absolutely.
There we go. Yep. So.
But, all right, well, I don't see anything else. So next week, we are going to be covering a lot of new stuff with iMachining. And for those of you guys that are unsure where to go, you guys can go to the SolidCAM.com, and it's going to be iMachining right here. And there is a ton of new features that we added in there. A lot of smart face technologies that we've added in there. So a lot of great stuff. So I got 2 sessions kind of set aside just for iMachining alone. So definitely check back with us next week. I'd love to see you there. But if I don't see any questions, guys. Thanks for watching tonight. And any questions or concerns, let Steve, myself, or Greg know. We're here to help out in any way possible. Or if you guys have ideas, send those over to me via email. All right, guys. Have a great good night.
Thanks, Kev.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.